Good afternoon and welcome to part 0 of my Deus Ex walkthrough. In fashion with my previous videos, part 0 implies the tutorial of a game, so this will be the training mission to Deus Ex. So let's go ahead and get right into that. Now, a few things to note before we get started. As far as mods go, I currently have the New Vision mod, which retextures everything, and the HDTP mod, which adds in some HD meshes to the game. In addition to that, I have a few fan patches, the Deus Ex MapPatch10 and the Deus Ex version 2 patch. There are no mods that I have that alter the gameplay any. Everything I have is strictly either patches that fix bugs or graphics modifications. Another thing to note before we get started is there are a few controls that I changed that I personally think are a more comfortable option. F12 right here, that's the flashlight, and I have that set to F. The same as the flashlight would be in Half-Life. I find that to be, a better place for the flashlight to be since you use that often. Crouch used to be X, but Control I think is a more intuitive button for crouch to be, so I set that to left control. I think that's the only two changes I've made, so if you just change those two things, I find that it's more comfortable to play it this way. Okay, so let's get started.
I figured you'd be sick of drills by now. Hopefully our training exercises will be more interesting than what they've had you doing at the academy.
You can see the reflection. There's a lot of even newer games that don't implement reflections in them. Deus Ex Human Revolution, for example, or Fallout 4. There's plenty of examples of modern games that don't implement reflections. From what I understand, they're a tedious thing to add into the game, so kudos to the original makers of Deus Ex for adding reflections in.
Open the door by clicking the right mouse button. The right button uses items in the world. The key on the desk opens encryption-based nanotech locks. When you pick it up, it will automatically be added to your keyring. Use the keyring to unlock the door and proceed to the next area. You're going to get a lot of equipment during these exercises. Press F1 at any time to access the inventory screen, which will let you add and remove items from the tool belt. Press F2 to view your current goals and any notes you may decide to take. On a typical mission, a UNATCO agent's objectives are logged electronically so that he can stay on task at all times.
Okay, this is what he was talking about. You hit F1 and you get your inventory. You have your credits there, your key here, ammo available. F2 will go to your goals and notes, primary goals, secondary goals, and you can add notes in if you wish. Conversations, so every transmission that I've gotten, it gets saved here. So you can see all the things that Jaime has said to me. This is if you can't get any images during a mission, you'll be able to see them here. Trainer door added to nano keyring. Your nano keyring is unlocked. Yeah, so these logs you get for every little action that happens in the video game. There's your skills. Your augmentations, which we don't have any right now except for the flashlight, the info link in IFF. your health, inventory.
Now pick up a weapon and try to break open those crates. One of them's indestructible, but the others contain things you might find useful.
Obviously, this is the indestructible one, and these aren't.
Now pick up the lockpick and use it to open the door. Lockpicking takes time and expends the self-assembling resources of modern lockpicks. Just be patient and remember your training. At higher skill levels, you won't need as much time or lockpick resources to pick a lock. Doors have two strength values. The door strength tells you how much damage a door takes before being destroyed. The lock strength tells you how many lockpicks will be required to pick the lock. Some doors have an infinite strength and an infinite lock strength. That means you have to find a key. The code to the door has been stored in that data cube. Right-click on the data cube to read the contents, then type the code into the keypad. You activate the keypad with the right mouse button, just like you activate a data cube or any object in the world.
We'll make this one easy for you. To open the door, use the code 0012. Got it? Behind me.
Use the disposable multi-tools on the table to hack the keypad up ahead. A multi-tool's resources are finite. When a tool is depleted, it becomes useless. The manual describes other uses for the multi-tool. At higher skill levels, you'll need less time and multi-tool resources to hack a given device.
Almost done, but one quick note. I'm not exactly the expert on this sort of thing. For that, you'll have to check in with Sam Carter when you get to Liberty Island, but remember that there are a number of ways to open a door, including using explosives or finding a security computer. Behind me. A multi-tool is not really a tool at all, not in the usual sense of the word, but a disposable electronic device that utilizes electromagnetic resonance detection and frequency modulation to dynamically alter the flow of a current through almost any non-hardened circuitry. Skilled agents can use the multi-tool to manipulate code locks, cameras, autogun turrets, alarms, or other security elements. Note that the multi-tool cannot be used for computer information extraction. See 5A, Section 5A hacking. Now, I can't remember if it's the New Vision mod or the HDTP mod, but you can see that you can read the book here, and the mod actually adds an extra information. Like, you see, no, multi-tool cannot be used for computer information. And you can see on the book, that's right here. So all this is extra stuff that they added in. So I'll read this. Multi-tools are an electronic device using electromagnetic resonance detection and frequency modulation to dynamically alter flow. Okay, the multi-tool was created for bypassing basic security tech, like keypads or security cameras. It can also unlock the locks. It can also unlock the A multi-tool's resources are finite, and when a tool is depleted, it becomes useless. It's ineffective on complex systems like bots or security computers. And you can see faintly in mirror image the text from the other page bleeding through. I'll screenshot this and mirror it so you can read that on your own if you wish.
I'm here to pick up all munitions and equipment. Thanks for the cooperation, Agent.
Lying in front of you is a brave cadet who volunteered to be rendered unconscious for this next training exercise. Highlight and search him to find the key to the medical room. Afterward, pick up his body and place it on the medical table so that one of my aides can revive him once the exercise is over. Good work. I'll get someone down there immediately to revive Private Winslow. Move on to the next area. You can bet this won't be the last time we send you into a dark room. Turn on your light augmentation and find the exit on the other side. Just press F12 by default. You're not a mech, but you're enough of a machine to need repair bots now and then. If you used up some bioelectric energy getting to the dark area, for example, this contraption can charge you back up. Congratulations, you completed Phase 1. Move over the ramp into the next rooms to begin learning movement skills. We'll be watching you through the cameras, like the one you can see up in the corner. In the field, remember that terrorists sometimes use cameras like this in their security grids to set off alarms and alert guards to your location. Jump across the platforms. You'll have to crouch to get under those pipes. If you fall, use the stairs to begin again.
Kind of similar to the Half-Life Hazard course.
You need to go through the door up ahead, but it's blocked. Those wooden crates are too big to jump and too heavy to lift, so use the metal crates near the wall to build steps. To pick up a crate, walk up to it so that it highlights, then click the right mouse button. To drop something you're holding, you can press the tab key by default. Now go up the ladder at the other end of the room. By default, you look up and use the arrow keys to climb. About this swimming obstacle because the water's contaminated. Recruits forget to grab the hazmat suit and end up in my office. Not pretty. Or they forget that they have to put the suit on by selecting it and pressing the left mouse button. Remember that the hazmat is disposable. You can wear it only once and it operates only for a fixed duration. Use the ramp on the other side of the room to climb. These medical bots, normally used for quick healing, are of particular interest to you, JC, because you need a bot's help to install new augmentations. If you took any damage during the swim, now's a good time to get patched up.
Hand in your equipment. That's right. No cheating.
Welcome to the combat training area. I am Günther Hermann, and I will be monitoring your progress here. We will start with weapon familiarization. Your first exercise will be to learn a little about aiming and targeting. Step up to the shooting range to the west. The targets are released by using the buttons on the counter. Release the first target and take a few shots with one of the pistols until it is destroyed. Notice the targeting reticle appears when you aim at a target.
To repeat what Gunther just said, notice the reticles around the crosshair, and how the longer I stand still, the closer together that they get. So if I move around, they get wide again. But if I stand still and aim, it gets closer together. The longer you stand still, the more accurate your shots will be. Whereas if you're moving around, your shots aren't very accurate.
hold your aim for a few seconds before firing, you will notice the reticle starts out wide and tightens as you hold. The longer you aim as a target without moving, the greater your accuracy will become. Release the second target and aim before shooting this time. Good work. Now proceed to the next area.
I'm here to pick up all munitions and equipment. Thanks for the cooperation, Agent.
This is a rifle range. Here you will learn one of the ways skill level makes a difference in your accuracy. Step up to the shooting range. The targets are released using the buttons on the counter. Release the first target and destroy it with the rifle. Use the rifle scope by pressing the left bracket key to turn the scope on.
So this one is a demonstration of how skill level affects accuracy. Right now you'll notice that my skill with rifles is untrained. Now you can see that the reticle is very wide and takes a long time to get on center. Not only this, with zooming in, you'll notice that the scope is very unsteady because I'm untrained with rifles.
Excellent! Now we are going to raise your skill with rifles to master level. Release the second target and destroy it.
Now he has raised the skill level with the rifle to master level. Now look, the reticle is completely dead center. Even if I run, it's not moving. And if I zoom in with the scope, you'll notice that the scope isn't wobbly anymore. It's completely on center, it's not moving. My accuracy is deadly with master level skill.
Good work.
No recoil.
As you can see, higher skills give you better range, accuracy and effectiveness. Proceed to the next area when you are ready.
Hand in your equipment. That's right. No cheating.
This is the demolitions training area. First you will learn to use the lamp as a proximity mine. Approach the bay window and you will see a lamp placed on the target board on the black and red wall. Press the first button next to the window and a security bot will be released. Watch as he nears the lamp. Lamps placed on the walls are proximity triggered. This time you will place your own lamp. Take a lamp from the munitions bay and proceed to the red and black wall below. Get as close to the wall as possible when you place the lamp. If you aren't close enough, the lamp will fall to the ground and detonate.
The way you know that you're close enough is you'll notice that the hand changes. Like so.
Very good, Agent Denton. You may proceed to the next area for more demolitions training.
You know how many thousands of dollars that they just now wasted on blowing up those two robots simply for a small demolitions test? They could have used, you know, a much cheaper dummy bot and not a full-blown military bot. That's like a waste of government funding.
You'll need a few extra lamps for the demolitions area. Here, catch.
Next you will need to breach the doors in the hallway. Throw a lamp down to the end of the hall. Once it blows, proceed down the corridor. Notice how the wooden door was destroyed and the metal and barred doors remained. Remember this for future reference. Beyond the destroyed door, you can see a damaged piece of wall you can also breach with a lamp. Try that now. Excellent. Notice that the wall is opened. Look for other weakened walls such as this, and your lamp and other explosives will allow you to breach them. Continue through that breach and on to the next section.
Gotta start the next section without arms or tools. Rules are rules.
The area beyond the door is the grenade defusing facility. Here you will learn how to remove planted explosive devices. At each of the corners of this area, you will find a lamp planted on the wall. You must disarm and remove all 4 lamps before you can proceed to the next section of training. You will need to move up to the lamp quickly and defuse it by right-clicking. A second right-click will remove the lamp from the wall.
The first click deactivates it. Second click, you can pick it up.
A word of warning, Agent Denton. This was a simulated experience. Real lamps will not be so forgiving. You may proceed to the next area.
If you're wondering what LAM means, it's a lightweight attack munitions. So that's why we're calling it LAMs.
Hand in your equipment. That's right. No cheating.
Now you will learn to move quietly and conceal yourself so that you will be able to avoid a confrontation altogether. The test is simple. Get to the far north door without being spotted by the guards below. If one of them sees you, he will sound an alarm and lock the door.
So this is the stealth section. There's 2 guards, there's one patrolling right here, and another patrolling right there. And we have to get past them both and to a door on the other side. Stealth is a vital component of all UNATCO operations. When implemented correctly, stealth missions result in the lowest possible ratio of agent and civilian casualties to hostile losses. Situational awareness is key. An agent should not only be familiar with tactical opportunities offered by their immediate environment, but how those opportunities can be exploited to their advantage with the appropriate equipment. Tech goggles allow agents to operate in low-light environments such as offices or labs, where illumination might otherwise attract attention. With binoculars, an agent can survey an opponent's disposition and determine the best way to evade or eliminate their defense. A rifle or crossbow equipped with a scope and silencing modification can be used to interdict targets from a considerable distance, significantly compromising hostile resistance. Other features of the environment can also be used by an agent to enhance their ability to operate covertly or to create useful distractions. Disabling security cameras, subverting autoguns, and reprogramming bots are all viable tactics employed by experienced agents in the field. This is the tech goggles. They're basically night vision goggles, but you don't really need them.
Remember, don't let the guards see you. Use the crates for cover and crouch when you move. Crouch behind concealment. Stay behind enemies. Move slowly to avoid making noise, and use shadows to conceal yourself. Be alert to every possibility. Very good. I hope you remember this lesson, Agent. They have assigned us to be partners, and I will not stop to hold your hand and repeat myself when we are facing a real enemy.
As you can see, the AI to some of the NPCs, well, all the NPCs in Deus Ex, isn't exactly all that great, to say the least, so I was able to sneak by those guys pretty easily. The stealth system in this is similar to Thief: The Dark Project, which came out before this. So to get by those guys, all you had to do really was stay silent, stay in shadows, and yeah, that's basically it. Just don't walk out in front of them and don't make too much noise, and you should be able to sneak by them pretty easily.
Now for the last test. You have to find a way across the river to the exit on the other side. There's more than one way to get there, depending on your approach and the skills you want to use. It's up to you. Make use of the IFF system to identify enemies. The crosshairs will highlight red over enemies, green over allies, and white over neutrals.
Now there's several approaches that we can use. We can put one of these things of TNT or push this out in front of the bot and detonate it. There's a pistol around here somewhere. We can, hey JC, went across the water, lower the bridge, the code is 0089. So we can use the code. Here's a pistol for exploding the water, the TNT. In addition, I think... I'll wait until this thing passes. I think you might be able to put those boxes in the water and jump across them or something. Or you can use this multi-tool.
Step up to each hologram for more info. When you're through, go out the opposite door. A deployment of UNATCO troopers is the central component of all UN peacekeeping occupations. The NSF, the biggest terrorist threat in the US, this national militia group thinks it is fighting the Second American Revolution. An inexpensive security bot, a favorite of third world countries and corporate security divisions. Not so mobile, but don't be fooled. We've lost plenty of agents to its well-armored assault gun. Like other bots, it's difficult to damage with ordinary bullets. This Page Industries walking turret, marketed to governments worldwide, is the workhorse of most national military forces. Due to the heavy armor, they take little damage from ordinary bullets. If you come up against a bot, you should use an EMP grenade, scrambler grenade, or some kind of explosive. Step over to the communicator. There's someone who wants to talk to you.
Manderley likes to hear which agents find this area. They're usually the ones who take terrorists by surprise in the field. Your brother Paul, for instance. All right, carry on. Don't let it go to your head.
This is the old augmentation technology, hopefully about to be phased out. Notice the reliance on electronics and servo mechanics, a maintenance nightmare. If I had 2 credits for every repair manual they made me file in my office in the med lab...
Yeah, these are mechanical augmentations. You'll notice that her hands up to her shoulders is completely or almost completely prosthetic. You'll notice her eye is augmented. You'll notice lots of different pieces of mechanics and cybernetics all over her body. And then you have nano-augmented agents like myself, JC, and Paul.
The Coalition's new nano-augmented agents are nearly indistinguishable from the general population, except that you and your brother don't know how to smile, even for a picture.
Sufficiently impressive, an early success for the whole organization.
Thanks. You from the United Nations?
Your augmentations are a go. The real test comes next. Active duty.
I'm ready, sir.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Alright, that's the end of the tutorial. See you for part 1.